What's up guys, Lifting here with another farm video, and this one today is actually not focusing on a map, but rather 50 dried lake runs. I thought this would be interesting since this is the go-to place to level our characters into the mid-70s, but rarely do we stock up on the loot and get to see what we actually gained from this. Unlike the 50 beach maps I did last week, the great thing about dried lake farming is that you can do it without any investment cost. That means that anything we find is going to be pure profit. Now, when I decided on doing these 50 dried lake runs, my methodology was to emulate how any typical player, including myself, would go about clearing this area. Unlike maps where you want to make sure you kill most of the monsters to get as much for your investment, dried lake farming isn't really like that. Instead, you typically clear the area in a circle, kill everything on your path, and then reset the zone and start over. This is how I did it for this video as well, with the extra rule of always killing the zone boss Vol 2. Each run took on average 2 minutes to complete for a total of 1 hour and 40 minutes to complete all 50 runs. And now let's see how much I actually gained by doing this in terms of estimated profit. As always, to make it easy, we will convert it all into Chaos Orbs based on the Essence Softcore League prices. In terms of raw currency, I gained 52 Chaos Orbs. If you add the value of the various essences to this, we gain an additional 12 Chaos for a total of 64 Chaos Orbs. As for Divination cards, I only had 3 drops, if you can believe it. All 3 were the Gem Cutters card for a total profit of 1 Chaos. If you get really lucky in this zone, you can get the Brittle Emperor by killing Vol, but well, we didn't get that lucky. When it comes to uniques, I found a total of 15 items. Of these, only 3 of them will realistically sell. This includes the Divinarius Dagger, the Wanderlust Boots, and the Verusu's Battering Ram. The total profit of these 3 is 11 Chaos Orbs. The other uniques are pretty much just vendor food. Had I found the Divinarius earlier on in the league, it would have been significantly more valuable. I remember it used to sell for anything between 70 to 120 Chaos Orbs in the beginning of the league, but that's what happens with prices over time, especially in a softcore league. As for rare items and jewels, I pretty much vendored all of it as none of it was worth selling, except for a 5-link chest armor and 2 jewels. The estimated profits of these are 7 Chaos Orbs. By running these 50 dried lake runs, I also got 13 maps in return, all tier 1 and pretty much without any value. None of the skill gems I found were worth anything except for Vault Discipline, which sold for 4 Chaos. For the sake of the gambling spirit, I also picked up every pair of Sorcerer Boots and Occultist Vestment chests and spent a Chance Orb on each, hoping for a pair of Skyforths or the Chevron's Wrapping chest. That didn't happen, so rip 16 Chance Orbs. So when putting this all together and subtracting the cost of the Chance Orbs I just spent, the total estimated profit when rounded down for 50 dried lake runs amounts to 85 Chaos Orbs. By taking time spent into the equation, it means I earned something like 51 Chaos Orbs per hour, granting that everything is to sell for the price that it is getting listed for. Had this been during the beginning of the league, many of the rare items would have held higher value and it would have thus been more profitable. It's pretty obvious why dried lake farming is so attractive. It has no cost, the layout is simple, the monsters are easy, and there are a lot of them. And as I mentioned earlier, you have Vol, who has the chance of dropping the Brittle Emperor Divination card for extra profit if you were to get really lucky. Anyway, I felt it would be interesting to do this 50 dried lake runs video simply because this is a type of content we all participate in, and I was curious to see how profitable it actually was with just 50 runs. The next farm video to be released is for 50 Phantasmagoria maps, and not too long after that I will be doing 50 Spider Forest maps as well, as it has some potentially interesting divination cards. As I mentioned in a previous video, if you have any maps you're particularly curious about seeing farmed, let me know and tell me the reason for this down in the comments, and I will consider doing this if I realistically can. And that's it for now. Subscribe if you're interested in my future findings. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?